Go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What is up and what's going on? And happy Money Thursday. It is Thursday, November 17th, 2022, baby. We all know it's 2022, but I tell you guys what, it's crazy to think that we're already that close to Thanksgiving this year, right? I was just thinking that. My wife's like, hey, next week, Thanksgiving. Like, what are you talking about? It's already Thanksgiving, and then Black Friday, and then Christmas, and then New Year's. I'm like, it's crazy to just see how quick this year has just flown by, guys. But anyway, that's besides the point, all right? I'm getting a little off topic so early this morning, thanks to the allergies and the cloudiness, but it is what it is. We're going to make it happen today. So once again, ADT family, Alpha Nation, good morning and happy Money Thursday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning, and I hope you guys had a great night as well. So let's go ahead and start off the right way. Each and every one of you, hit me with the big old Alpha Day Trading good morning. And if you guys are over on YouTube right now, hit me with a good morning as well. And also drop your location. Where are you guys tuning in from this morning? Is this your first stream? If it is, let us know. Welcome to the stream. I'm excited to have you here, and we appreciate the support as well. We're here to get you prepared for today's trading session over the next 30 minutes before we drop the stream and officially go live inside a chat with our members. All right, so again, we're going to break down everything that's going on in the market today to eliminate the noise, to remove the distractions, to put your focus on the stocks that have the best opportunity to make money today. Right, so you're going to learn a lot during this. You're going to see a lot of technical examples, how I mark up my levels, all that good stuff. But the most important part is you're going to walk away with the top 3 penny stocks for today and the top 3 option plays for today. And then maybe, just maybe, you get a little bit of my personal game plan as well on one of those stocks. Kind of like you guys got yesterday on the SPY. And I gave you a little bit of something more as well over on XOM. Both of these looking pretty darn good. So if you guys were taking advantage of those opportunities, I hit my goal. And some of you guys got some quick wins in the market. So again, good morning. Where are you tuning in from? And then ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls inside the chat, good morning once again. How are we doing? AJ, Javier, welcome to the team, my man. We are excited to have you here. Everybody, really quick, let's take a moment and give Javier a warm Alpha Day Trading welcome right now at this point in time. Let's make it happen. Welcome to the team, my man. We are excited to have you here, excited to work with you, and our goal is to see you inside a Profits Chat every single day. For the most part, right? Maybe you're not trading one day. That's okay. That's a professional thing to do. But consistently inside a Profits Chat every single day, learning something new every single day. Again, excited to have you here. Welcome him to the team, ladies and gentlemen. And let's dive into it. Absolutely. Steve, Mad Mike, Catherine, good morning. AJ, H, Mad Mike again, Tony, Alan, Sturd, Joey, Rodney, Mr. G. Woo! Everybody's here inside the chat today. We are ready to rock and roll. Who do we have over on YouTube? We got Hunter, Scott, Tim, Invest Outdoors. Good morning from snowy Minnesota. That stinks. Fort Myers. Hunter, what do you mean it's cold in Fort Myers? It's beautiful down here at this point in time. New Hampshire, Alabama. What's up, traders? Once again, good morning. Mr. G. Gino, welcome back, boss. All right, so without further ado, let's officially dive into it. Let's talk about what we have going on for today's trading session to, again, get you focused, get you prepared so you guys can lock in some big-time profits. I'm excited to make it happen, so let's dive into it, guys. All right? Before we officially get going, though, all right, one thing I still want to point out every single day with consistency and repetition is penny stocks are fairly challenging. So again, if you are just now joining the team, right? If you're just now coming back for a while, we've seen some newer faces, like obviously last year, a lot of traders coming in, they're starting to come back. If you have not been here for the past 2, 3, 4 weeks, just know that market conditions are really, really cold, like it is in maybe your home state, right? Ice cold, you don't want to go outside. That's how small cap penny stocks are. It's like there's snow on the ground. It's -20, and you walk outside with short shorts and a white beater on. Why would you do that? You're crazy. That's what penny stocks are like. It's like putting on those short shorts and your tank top, walking outside, -20 degrees. You're crazy, right? trading these penny stocks, very much the same. It's really hard. So I always like to start here. If you've been successfully trading small caps in this market, you have learned to trade small caps in one of the hardest markets ever from what I've experienced. So when the market returns to normal, you're going to freaking crush it. You are going to absolutely dominate it, 100%. But if you're someone like me that has had a hard time transitioning in this cold market, it's best to transition out of this market and put your focus on learning options. Put your focus on trading larger cap stocks. That's where the opportunity is. That's where the consistency is. That's where the predictability is. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the profits have been as well. All right. So just know it's very choppy and challenging and hard and unpredictable with these small caps, but we're still going to give you the top 3 and get you guys prepared as far as what could happen today in the market, guys. Right. So actually right now I do have 3. One's a swing trade idea. And then we have 2 top gainers at this point in time that look pretty decent, right? From the last time I checked, they were looking pretty decent. All right. But let's see if they still do. Number 1, we have ARDX. At this point in time, guys, ARDX is currently up 59%, trading 30 million shares. We're trading almost 10 times more volume today than we do on volume. That's substantial. This is one of the bigger gap ups I've seen in a long time. It's up 60%. Normally it's 17%, 20%. We actually have something up 59% at this point in time. That's exciting, right? That's different. We haven't seen that in quite some time. But here's the deal. It's a large float stock, right? As small cap traders, we want these penny stocks that can rip 50 cents to $1, right? Quick, fast. We want to scalp these opportunities. The lower the float, the better. This is 148 million in float. It's going to take a lot to get this thing going. So just keep that in mind in the back of your head that this is a very large float, maybe a slower and steadier mover here. All right, but why is this stock even moving on up at this point in time? Well, this morning, shares are trading higher after the company announced that the FDA Advisory Committee voted 9-4 that the benefits of their study outweigh its risks for the control of serum phosphorus for adult patients in chronic kidney disease on dialysis, right? It's all about these key words. That's a mouthful. But what do we really want to take away from this press release, guys, right? That the FDA Advisory Committee voted 9-4. Right? So again, in their favor with their study in regards to adult patients with chronic kidney disease that are on dialysis, right? You need to further read into this as well. So you could always go look at ARDX on Yahoo Finance, find the press release. It was posted up here inside of chat as well if you want to further dive into this. But really when we're looking at press releases, it all comes down to keywords. They vote in favor of their kidney disease candidate, right? So again, we're just looking at the keywords. Is it hot? Is it cold? This is a pretty decent press release here. No wonder the stock is up 58% at this point in time. All right. So from a technical perspective, right? You guys are like, all right, I get it. It's a top stock, Josh. You don't have to keep educating me on it, right? Where's the stock going? How do I get in? Where do I get out? Where's the opportunity to make profits, right? So we want to see the stock hold above 175 ideally, right? 175 is a really nice level of support here on ARDX. But if we do start to fall below 175, you have to look at this daily chart at these lower levels to see how low the stock could actually go. So below 175, guys, I wouldn't want to be long on it whatsoever. I'd be sitting back waiting to see where it's going next. It definitely has some room down to 164, and then literally just look at your daily chart and mark up these prior highs, right? It could go down to 158 and come all the way down here to 148. Right? It could come all the way down here to that spiking high at 138. So you have all of these levels where the stock could come down to before finding support and moving on back up. But honestly, we start cracking all of those levels, the stock's dead. You don't really want to watch it at that point in time, right? So as long as we can hold this 175, we look pretty decent. We'd also like to see the stock get back above $2. That shows strength. So if we can pop back above $2 today, and hold above $2, that shows strength, and we have great potential to spike back up to those pre-market highs at 244, right? Now, what if the stock ever breaks over that 244 level? Well, I mean, there's a pretty big gap to be filled here, right? The stock gapped down from $8 all the way down into the twos. So if we can indeed start to break right back above $2, that gap level of 215. Now we're spiking above those pre-market highs, right? There's a lot of room for this stock to rip and run. So you could see this thing all the way up towards around 319 and then possibly 377. All right, guys. But again, you don't need to see the stock get all the way up to $1,000 to make good profits. Over $2, staying above $2, you can definitely consider a long to 215 and then 244. Stock ever breaks above 244, you have room to 319, and then 377. Right, guys? You start falling below 175, you probably don't want to be long on it. Just sit back, relax, and wait. We'll see if the stock can actually start to move on up and do anything for us today. But keep in mind, a lot of these top gainer stocks in pre-market, I would say 80% of them do fade and fall at the start of the day. They do dump on off, right? So just keep that in mind and be mindful of that. Next, we have CTMX. This is going to be the number 2 this morning, right? They're announcing a strategic research collaboration in the field of conditional bispecific. Gosh, I can't even talk today. That's how clouded I am with these allergies. My goodness. Therapeutics for the treatment of cancer. There we go, Josh. That was a little bit of a mouthful for you there, buddy. So Regeneron and then CTMX are announcing a strategic research collaboration for the treatment of cancer, right? So anything that's cancer related, those stocks typically do really, really nice. And a strategic collaboration with Regeneron, a very well-known company. So no wonder, again, this stock is up at this point in time, 25%. Okay, so CTMX is going to be the number 2 stock that you guys should be watching today, trading 6 million shares. And on average, the stock trades 440,000. So we're trading over 10 times the average volume, which is fantastic. And it's under 100 million in float, which is nice, right? ARDX is a large float stock at 148. This is 62 million in float, which is much better. So I like CTMX, and I think there is some potential here. We're looking for the break over 161. Ideally, we just want to see the stock break above 161. And we could definitely see a spike on up towards around 175. And then if we ever see CTMX get that 175 break, we can definitely take it long for the next leg up to $2, guys. All right, so the number 2 stock for today at this point in time is going to be CTMX. But again, 80% of the time, especially over the past 2 to 3 weeks, these top gaining stocks that have the best potential in pre-market fade and fall at the start of the day and don't really provide us with the best of the best opportunity. Typically, what do we see? Random stocks from prior days hitting the high day momentum scanner, hitting the breakout scanner, getting halted. Very random stocks that tend to be the top gainers. So if you see CTMX failing to break, looks weak, tons of sellers, just avoid it at all costs. If you see the same thing with ARDX, stay away. Sit back, be patient, observe those scanners, and then wait to see where traders go today, and then identify the best opportunity. And we'll definitely make that happen, guys. All right. So number 1, again, you're going to be watching ARDX today for the rebreak of 2. That's where volume is going to start moving back into 215 and then 244. And then CTMX today for the break over 161. That's where I think a lot of buyers and volume will definitely start moving back into this play for the spike on up to 175, and then a break over 175, the next leg up to $2 here on CTMX, guys. All right, and then we still do have SUNL on high watch today, guys. Okay, so SUNL is a really nice swing trade opportunity. And on top of that, it's a beautiful gap fill break strategy. Excuse me. So the stock closed at 250 here on the 28th, gapped down and spiked up to 168, creating this massive gap on the daily chart. So not only could we see a break over the gap down spiking high, and that's typically where a ton of volume really starts to move on in for that gap fill move, we also have a really nice moving average squeeze formation, right? The stock's getting squeezed between the 20 EMA and the 50 SMA. I really like SUNL. I think SUNL has tons of great potential for the rest of this week, coming into next week, as long as it continues to consolidate in between these two moving averages, right? This could lead to a really, really nice moving average squeeze. Moving average squeeze swing trade that also leads to a break over that 167 resistance for that nice gap fill move as well. All right, so again, right now at this point in time, there's no reason to be getting involved, but we definitely want to keep this one on high watch as there's tons of potential for SUNL to be a fantastic swing trade right around the corner, guys. All right, so those are going to be the top 3 penny stocks for today. Now let's talk about what we have going on with options, those larger cap opportunities that we could see really provide us with some nice opportunities and big time profits. You're doing the old Kung Fu movie voice thing again. It's not lining up. So the voice is not lining up with the, okay, give me 1 second, guys. I want to make sure that's fixed. It looks good to me, man. Is it not lining up? I mean, I can delete the mic and redo it. I'll just remove my beautiful face for today. How about that? I'll just remove the beautiful face, and you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll, so it's not throwing you guys off a little bit. You were going to say that? I wasn't even looking at chat, and then I just happened to look down, and you guys say that. So, all right, give me 1 second. Let me just drop the webcam today until I can actually fix that. Again, it's a computer thing, guys. I have no idea. So we'll go ahead and drop that, and hey, you can hear my beautiful voice. You can't see my beautiful face, but at least it's not going to throw you guys off and mess with your OCD. All right, so let's talk about what we have going on with large caps today, guys. Right, so let's go ahead and start with the SPY and the Qs. So again, you guys knew our game plan from yesterday on the SPY. If not, go look inside of levels inside of chat, or go watch yesterday's live stream recap and how we dissected this thing yesterday morning in pre-market for that really, really nice day trade opportunity that could turn into a swing trade, looking to go 30 to 45 days out here on the SPY with a 390 target. Was not expecting it to happen overnight, but I was thinking maybe into next week. But here's the deal. If we open on up in the next 13 minutes, those puts that you guys were entering yesterday are definitely going to be printing. So if you had multiple puts, you can definitely start scaling out of this position today. And if you want to leave a little bit on the table for a runner, you guys are all set down to 385.60 and then 381.10 if you do want to leave some of your position on the table for the crack below 390 and the next leg down. But if you want to get all out, that's okay, because this was your main target here on the SPY. So what we're looking for today is the SPY to ideally get that crack below 390.27. So again, if we can get that crack below 390.27 here on the SPY, maybe see a pop back up into that level of support, and we see it hold as resistance, I would love to get short on the SPY today down to 385.60. However, if we stay above 390.27, we have more buyers than sellers, good price action, and this is a solid, established level of support. We definitely don't want to play puts right out of the gate. We want to think about playing this long into our next level of resistance. And looking left, where could we see the SPY go up to as like one of our main targets? 394.93. We had all that support here from, again, Monday, Tuesday, here yesterday, all of that support right around 394.93. So if the SPY does hold above this 390.27, we could see a slow and steady grind throughout today back up into that level of resistance at 394.93. But like I said, if we do crack below that 390.27 level and then bounce back up for a retest as resistance, hey, we definitely want to be playing some puts today, guys. Right? So it would look a little something like this. Right? We come on down, looking weak, we crack. And then it comes on back up into that level of prior support, new resistance. It's not breaking above. We have really, really good price action to the short side, a lot of selling pressure, whatever the case is, right? Multiple separate reasons that take a trade. But if we see what we want to see here on the SPY, that's game plan number one, to get those put contracts off of a crack and retest for that nice fade on down today. Right? However, you have to have a long plan in place as well. What if the SPY bounces and we come back down out of the gate and we bounce again and we start to put in this double bottom possibly? Well, we definitely don't want to play puts. We want to play this long off support. And as long as momentum retains, we could see this slowly grind back up to our next level of resistance, which is 394.93. So today, my plan for the SPY, my bigger picture plan, really comes down to what's the SPY doing at this 390.27. I always like to have a bigger picture plan in place, right, guys? Yesterday, here on the SPY, my bigger picture plan. I always like to have these in place, and if they work out, they work out. Those are big time profits. If they don't work out, guess what we do? 10, 15 minutes into the day, things die down a little bit, the volatility subsides, we get more predictability, we get a sense of direction, and then we find those short-term scalp opportunities for those quick 50-cent pops, whatever the case is. But I like to always have a bigger picture game plan in place just in case that plan hits. Those are big-time profits. And again, if you were executing that trade yesterday, that was some pretty nice profits here on the SPY when you open on up in the next 8 minutes, assuming the market doesn't just spike on up in the next 8 minutes. All right, so that's the game plan today, the bigger picture game plan. I would love to see play on out for some really nice profits, right? We have 4 to 5 points to the downside of potential. We have 4 to 5 points to the upside as potential. Those could be some really nice profits. Or 10, 15 minutes in, get a sense of direction, let that volatility die down a little bit, and let's see where the SPY wants to go, and let's see if we have any nice intraday opportunities to lock in some profits, guys. And I'm sure we will, all right? So that is the SPY, all right? Amazon. I still think Amazon has really, really good potential to the short side. Yesterday, we tried to catch this several times off the crack and retest of 96.50. We made some money. Well, I mean, you guys made some money. I didn't. I got in. I was going to let this thing go all day down to that gap fill level at 93, but I got stopped out at break even, right? In hindsight, I should have taken those profits quick. In hindsight, I could have re-entered and then scalped it for some quick profits before it would have stopped me out at break even on the remainder of my position. If I would have traded this just a little bit differently on Amazon, we would have made 500 plus. Because again, at one point in time, we were up over $500 on this trade, but I was convicted. I was confident in the gap fill, and I was okay with giving back that $500 of unrealized profit to see if we developed. Because if we would have developed throughout the day yesterday into our target zone around 92.85 and then 90, that would have paid big. And I was okay with letting this thing develop. However, it did not. If you had those scalp opportunities, you killed it. So the adjustment for me today is the same thing as yesterday. Looking for a great entry on Amazon, right? When I'm up in profit, I am going to start scaling out just in case. So where am I looking to get involved here on Amazon today? Well, I want to see it stay below this level of resistance. Now, that level of resistance can be all the way back up towards around 95.85. Look at how many times we came down to 95.85 yesterday, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? We have all of this support from yesterday. And if you want to, you can create yourself a little bit of a zone here. So take yourself a little box and mark up that entire zone, right? And then drag this out to the right. Okay, we could go right back up for a retest of yesterday's low of day, get rejected, and then start dumping on off. If that's the case, I'm looking to get short at 95.55. However, if we do pierce above that 95.55 and we stay inside of this zone and we start to fall back out of it, I'm definitely looking to get short. So it could look a little something like this, guys. So we open on up, we spike on up right to yesterday's low of day. We're not breaking above, and we start dumping on off. And that's where we take our put contracts for the daily gap fill here on Amazon. A good day trade that can turn into a fantastic swing trade. However, what if we open on up and we come inside this gray box? As long as we have good price action that suggests it's going to fall back out and we have more sellers than buyers, hey, I'm still okay with this trade. I will definitely be looking to enter this for Amazon to fall back out of that zone. And again, same idea, daily gap fill, right? So here are going to be your targets, guys. Your first target on Amazon to the short side, if we get these trades, 92.85. We have to lock in some profits there, okay? Then we start falling inside of this gap fill level. We could see Amazon all the way down to 89.56, and that's our final target. But we do need to lock in some profits at 92.85. That's an area that we can expect to bounce. We need to lock in some profits here off that lower shadow of 91.65. That's an area that could bounce, but then our final target will be all the way down at 89.56, right? But first things first, we have to wait for one of two things to happen. A bounce on up for a retest of yesterday's low of day. We get rejected. We take our puts. We start selling on off. Okay? Stops, we'll give it maybe $1 of breathing room. Why $1, Josh? Well, because we're looking for 2, 3, 4, 5 potential points to the downside if we hit every single target. So I'm okay with risking $1, right? When I know that I have, what's that, $2.50 to the downside into my first target. And that's plenty of breathing room here on Amazon. Game plan number 2, we don't hit 95.55 to the penny, right? And we come inside this gray box. As long as we see that type of price action that we saw yesterday, but to the short side, right, we want to definitely take those puts. So yesterday, look at all that price action here. But that was definitely good buy price action, right? That you would want to take long. If we see that kind of price action just upside down here inside of this gray box, and we see that, selling pressure, the price action that indicates we're going to start dropping on off, and we get that confirmation at that time, we'll definitely be playing those puts again with the same targets to the downside, guys, right? So it just requires a lot of patience to wait for Amazon to give you what you want to feel confident to take that trade, guys, right? But we have a fantastic opportunity here with Amazon. All right, and then last but not least, NVIDIA, right? I'm not all that crazy with NVIDIA like I am with the SPY and like I am with Amazon, but I think NVIDIA could give us some good opportunity today. So same idea, right? We're gapping down. We want to see a push up into yesterday's lows. We want to see NVIDIA get rejected and stay below 158.73 as resistance, and then start to curl on over and then drop down to our target right around 150. So very similar idea like Amazon, right? Amazon's gapping down here. We want to see Amazon gap down, stay below yesterday's low of day ideally, start to roll on over, and then we play those puts. Same thing with NVIDIA, right? Gapping down, pop on up into yesterday's low, yesterday's support, ideally hold as today's resistance. Start to roll on over, drop on off. We have a 150 target. Obviously, we're looking to short NVIDIA today. That's the best idea. That's the best plan right now that I see on NVIDIA and Amazon. But it really depends on what the SPY does, right? If the SPY stays above this level of support and bounces on up, we may not have the opportunity to trade Amazon and NVIDIA short today, right? If the Qs hold on up as well and start to bounce on up back into 284.54 resistance. Let's say we see a slight grind and we're starting to go green today and we're moving on up. Well, we will not have an opportunity to get those shorts on Amazon and those shorts on NVIDIA. And right now, I'm definitely leaning more towards the short side because these two stocks definitely have great potential to start fading and falling versus getting a massive leg on up. So again, I'm a little short biased today on NVIDIA. I'm definitely short biased for the daily gap fill on Amazon, but it all comes down to what the SPY and the Qs do. So I would love for the SPY to crack below that 390 support, and then it turn into resistance. We start fading and falling. Great short opportunity on the SPY. That will help us have a great short opportunity on Amazon, and ideally, a great short opportunity here on NVIDIA, guys, right? So, hey, we are all set, ready to rock and roll. The SPY, our levels, our game plan, Amazon, NVIDIA, our top 3 pennies for today. But right now, what's the name of the game? Patience. Sit back, relax the first 5 to 10 minutes, really wait for the best opportunity to present itself, and we'll definitely make it happen when the trade is there, right? So trade smart, trade safe. Let's make this an amazing day in the market. And most importantly, let's lock in some profits, guys. So let's make it happen. Well, I highly recommend that if you guys were taking those put contracts from yesterday, from our swing trade idea, that you are locking up those contracts right now. At least 50% of your position. Scale out just in case this is the double bottom, and that we start grinding on back up to that 394.93, right? The last thing I want you guys doing is being greedy here, and then before you know it, you're actually losing money or you're back to break even when you're already up, right? What are you up? You're up 6 points nearly, 5 points to the downside in the last 24 hours. Those put contracts definitely printed for you guys. Right? I am leaning a little bit to the short side today, right? As you can tell, my bias is short, but at the same time, I'm not going to trade based on my biasness. I'm just going to trade what the chart tells me to trade. Is it long? I'll take it long. Is it short? I'll take it short. That's all that matters. So right now, for the first 5 minutes or so, I'm just going to kind of be scanning through some of these top gaining stocks and looking to see where the best opportunity is. All right, and the second we see something, and the second I'm looking for a trade or we have a great opportunity in front of us, I'm going to make sure I get you guys prepared so we can all attack that opportunity. Obviously, you know your accounts better than me. You know how to manage your risk, what your max risk is, how many contracts you should be buying to not exceed a certain amount of loss. You still have to independently build your trade plans based on your account. But from a technical standpoint, from a trade plan standpoint, an opportunity, a quality alert, I'm here for you guys. If you do not know how to build plans and how to assess what your risk to reward is going to be for every contract you buy based on your account, then we need to walk you through that and get you educated first before we start actually placing these trades to make sure you're always positioned correctly. Could we be seeing a boom, boom, bang on CTMX, or can that only happen after the open? No, that can happen from pre-market. You could see that type of formation and development from pre-market into the day, 100%. So I'm really focused here on NVIDIA, guys. Like, I am dialed in to NVIDIA, and here's why. The SPY's sitting right at VWAP, and we know the SPY likes to get rejected at VWAP. So if we see that rejection and we start dumping, NVIDIA is right at resistance, and look at that crack already. Look at that drop. NVIDIA right up to 158.73, and then a massive flush on down. Amazon, that's a no-go, right? That's a no-go right now. But NVIDIA, I like that topping price action. I like that resistance. Let's see if the SPY and the Qs start dropping on off. If so, we have a great short idea here on NVIDIA down towards around 150. And stops are nice and tight right over that high a day here. But again, we're only 3 minutes into the day. Sit back, be patient. And let those spreads tighten up if they look a little wonky. All right, the spreads actually aren't that bad either. So we got a 150 target. You can play the 1 day to expiration with a 30 delta. So that's going to put you at a 146 put contract, right? They're very, very cheap. A 146 has a 30. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's a 32 theta. You guys are going to be going with a 155. My bad. You're either going to be a 155 put contract or that 152, ideally, because you're playing those 30 deltas, because that's how you're going to be able to manage your risk or reward. So I'll probably go with a 152.5 if we set back up for an entry. But like I said, the first 5 minutes or so, I definitely don't want to be touching anything just to make sure we are actually on the right side of the trade. The market looks bearish because that's going to help pull NVIDIA down with it. So if we see what we want to see on NVIDIA, we will absolutely grab those trades. And I'm looking for a 1 day till expiration, 152.5 put contract that has a 24 delta. So that means for every dollar we risk on NVIDIA, we lose $24 per contract. That's how we manage our risk to reward. So ideally, that's the one you would probably want to go with. But again, it's completely up to you. You can trade something that's more in the money, again, if that's your plan. So let's go NVIDIA. Let's go ahead and get that plan typed up, ready to go, just in case it presents itself. So let's go NVIDIA, NVDA. I am not in yet, so you guys are fully aware. I am not in at this point in time, but as soon as I get in, I'll let you guys know. You know exactly the expiration, the strike. I'll probably have 10 contracts to start, and then personally maybe work myself into 20 contracts. I'm not sure yet, but to start, we'll probably scale in at 5 and 10 increments. One day, and we're looking at a 152. A 155 is okay as well. A 155 is okay as well. All right, so buy to open 10 put contracts, 152.5 that expire tomorrow. Ready to rock and roll if we have a reason to get in. SPY needs to start dumping on off, right? The Qs need to start dumping on off, and our stops here, I would say maybe $1 to $1.50 at most. $1 to $1.50 at most. All right, the SPY's dumping. The SPY is starting to drop. I'm short NVIDIA, guys. Only 5 contracts. I'm short NVIDIA 5 contracts because the SPY is dumping at this point in time. Right? Stop loss is over high a day. So keeping it tight on this particular trade. Stop loss is over high a day. 5 contracts. Right here as the SPY's dumping. I'm short NVIDIA. 5 contracts to start. Stops at 159 over high a day. Entries were 110, bids at 128. Honestly, on this trade, we can go risk-free. On this particular trade, to be honest with you, we don't even want to see it back over this prior high. We can go risk-free on this trade, guys. Playing it really smart, playing it safe. The SPY is dumping hard. NVIDIA should get pulled down as well. So as long as we stay below this downtrend, we're okay. We start to pierce that downtrend. We don't want to be in it. We start to pierce above that 158.50. Ideally, don't want to be in it. But if you want to let it breathe, your stops are over high a day. I'm still in right now. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I'm right at break even on that trade. I'm just looking to see how this candle closes. But right now, I'm right at break even, so. Again, rinse and repeat if you have to, right? You're like, don't like it, should have dropped, follow the market. Hey, it's a rinse and repeat. That's why we only started with 5 contracts, not our full position. To reduce the risk, to limit the loss, to allow it to breathe if needed. But right now, I have not sold yet, so you guys are fully aware. I'm still being patient with it here because I still see weakness on the SPY. Right? The SPY still dropping on off here. We want to start cracking these lower shadows. We want to start falling below these lower shadows here. You can't risk over high a day. So, I mean, your stop loss is right over high a day. That keeps your stop as tight as possible. I mean, you guys are in the green right now if you're on those contracts. So it's completely up to you. Manage the trade how you want. If you're like, yep, I don't like it anymore, I'm out. Get out. If you want to put your stop over high a day and you can afford that, stop over high a day. You can afford it, right? I'm here to identify the opportunities with you, right? Build the plans, where the stops at, where the entries are, where our targets are. But you have to independently manage your trade on your own, based on your account and your risk tolerance and all that. But again, if it breaks high a day, that's where you have to get out. That is the stop loss. I'm just not a fan of this price action right now on NVIDIA, guys. I'm getting out. I'm getting out. I don't like it. I don't like the price action. So, hey, great trade. Hey, that's a good loss. I take it, what, $50 loss? Pfft, absolutely. To take a $50 loss to make several hundreds of dollars, count me in. Count me in. So, yeah, down $50. Great trade. I liked it. Has tons of potential still at this point in time. Just no follow through. It's okay. Nice tight stops. Do the right thing. Walk away from the trade. Rinse and repeat. Right? Never ever judge your success based on one trade. Look at Catherine. See, look at Catherine. Everybody can trade differently, right? I want to hold it a little bit longer. Catherine says, screw you, Josh. I'm taking profits. 209.87. Catherine, I freaking love it. Prime example of identify the opportunity, build your plan, and trade the way you trade. You want to scalp like Catherine? Scalp. You want to hold a little bit longer and on your stop and take a $50 loss like me? Take a $50 loss. It's okay. Catherine, good job on those NVIDIA puts. 209 to start your day. I love it. Absolutely love it. And then here's the deal. This is why we get out. So I'm going to show you guys something real quick. So we're going to go ahead and float this window. And at 110, at one point, those are up to like 130, right? Those were up substantially, right? Why do we honor our stop losses? Because we'd be down an extra 150 right now, or $75, right? This is why we honor our stops, right? We get out where we say we're going to get out to not turn a small loss into a much bigger loss. Keep the losses small. They're paper cuts. Rinse and repeat. All right, CTMX, anything here? Nope.